What is worth buying in 2026 and what isn't? 2026 is the year of conscious consumerism. I am sitting down and I'm looking at my budget and I'm trying to figure out what makes sense to buy in 2026. To start this series, I am going to talk about 10 things that I have decided not to spend my money on in 2026. I did a little bit of a life inventory over the past few weeks, looking at the things that I have that I use a lot, the things that I buy too much of, the things I have multiples of, and things that I just have spent money on forever and maybe don't fit with my lifestyle or my values anymore. And I put together a list of things that I'm trying to purge from my home and my life, and a list of things that I would love to replace them with to live a more mindful and intentional life and to spend more mindfully and intentionally. This is the first of 2 videos where I'm going to be talking about spending money in 2026. The next video that follows this will be things that I am deciding to spend money on and that I'm going to prioritize in my budgets in 2026. My name is Alyssa. I am a 20-something professional living and working in New England. So some important things that I think need to set the stage for where I'm at in my life and what I am prioritizing and spending money on. I'm 29 years old. I work in management consulting. My specialty is HR, particularly compensation. So I feel like I am particularly well equipped to talk about all things money, personal finance, and compensation. I work in Boston, Massachusetts, and I own a car. I have a commute. I go into the office. I work my corporate job. I have a salary. I have a mortgage, and I live with my husband, our 2 dogs, and our 5 ducks. Yes, ducks. We have a little coop in our backyard, and we have 4 girls that we raised up from ducklings and 1 that we recently rehomed to our house. And this is important. This will come into one of the things that I am not spending money on in 2026. I live in a 2-income household. So some of the things that are important to me to spend money on and replace and upgrade might not make sense for everyone in the everyday, but I think it's important to talk about my lived experience and the things that matter and don't matter to me. Without further ado, here are 2 things that I am not buying in 2026. Number 1, I am not buying trendy clothes. I am a clearance hunter. I cannot leave a really good deal on the shelf, in the store, on the website. And this is something that I'm really working to break for a few reasons. 1, saving $20 but spending 10, you're still spending 10. So if it's not a thing that I really want, I need to teach myself that I shouldn't be buying it just because it's on sale. I need to think about my wardrobe, what I want to wear, what I tend to gravitate towards, and really build around that. Another piece that I'm really passionate about is these trendy clothes are often a blend or fully polyester. So we are putting plastic on our bodies all the time, and it's something that really freaks me out. I listened to this really great podcast by Dr. Huberman talking about microplastic and PFAS and what that's doing to our bodies and the world and our brains and our wombs and everything. And it's something that I'm really focused on eliminating in 2026. The second thing that I am not buying in 2026 is makeup. I love makeup. I have probably more than the average person, and I definitely fall into that clearance sale hunter mindset when it comes to makeup. So I don't buy what I want most of the time. I'll buy the dupe or I'll buy the thing that's on sale, and it's just not something that I really use very much. I don't wear very much makeup for a plethora of reasons. A big one being I have a really long commute to work and I like to sleep in as much as possible. So I don't often wear makeup during the work week. But really the biggest one is I don't really like my skin. I'm almost 30 years old and I have pretty consistent acne all up in this area. I try to cover it, but it almost always ends up looking worse. So I'm really not going to wear much anymore. And I'm going to really focus on getting my skin to look better, be healthier, be more moisturized, especially in these New England winters. Something that falls into this category kind of that I'm avoiding as well are any kind of cure-alls. So whether that's this skincare thing that promises to fix your problems in 30 days, or a planner that says it'll do it all, or organization that says it'll do it all, that is not something that I'm interested in for 2026. I am looking to use a lot of what I have to build and refine my own personal systems for all parts of my life to get more efficient and operate my own personal life more like a business. Number 3 of things that I am not spending money on in 2026 is fillers or Botox. So I've gotten fillers in a handful of different places over the past, we'll call it 3 to 5 years. I've gotten lip filler a few times and I love the way it looks. I really do. It's the best, but it's super expensive and I have a pretty quick metabolism, so it doesn't last too long. I start to notice the effects of lip filler fading in maybe 8 to 12 weeks. And for the price tag that you have to pay to go to somebody really great to get the higher quality injectables, it's just not worth it for me. And then I also have gotten a couple times chin filler. And another one, I really liked it. It lasted longer for sure. But I think for this year, I am going to take a pause on that. And like I said, for number 2, I'm going to focus on my skin and making my skin something that I'm really happy with before doing anything else in the filler world. And within this category as well, it's separate, but it's the same idea. I am not getting Botox in 2026. This isn't some revolutionary thing. I've only ever gotten it once, and the intention behind it was to work on some of the stuff in my chin. So it was a kind of preliminary step before putting the filler in, and it messed up my smile so bad. I had just like a droopy little corner of my lip for a couple months, and I really hated it. And I also didn't find that it gave me any of the benefits that I was told that it would give me. On top of the fact that if you actually think about what Botox is and what it stands for, you probably don't want to put it in your face. The fact that it didn't do what I wanted, it froze my nerves, and also just from a societal perspective, the expectation that it's pushing isn't something that I really want to be a part of. Number 4 is books. I love to read. I love books, but I love the library. So I am committing to not buying any books in 2026, and I am going to go to the library for all of my needs. I think between that and the Libby app, which is really excellent, and the limited audiobook hours that you also get on Spotify Premium, I don't think that I'm going to need to buy any books in 2026. I was gifted a fantasy trilogy for Christmas, so my TBR is already too long, and I have a lot in my physical TBR to get through, in addition to things that the library can offer me. I think that a lot can be said too about our overconsumption culture, and everything is just buy, and all these influencers and companies are trying to sell things to us. We don't need 1,000-book library. We don't need to buy all the newest. We don't need to buy the special editions, especially if you're like me. I typically only read a book once, and I don't ever really go to reference it again unless it's some sort of educational textbook or some sort of reference. So why am I going to waste the money and the environmental impact of printing, shipping, selling, buying books when I have a library literally 5 minutes away from my house that is wonderful and has everything I need? And if it doesn't have what I need, they are really great about reaching out to the other libraries in their region and moving books around to get people what they've asked for. Number 5 is going to be the fast fashion of home decor. I am a sucker for Target home decor. I love Magnolia Home. I love Threshold. I love it all. Kind of aligned with my priorities on clothing for 2026. I don't need it if it's not quality and it's not made well and it's not made to last. I don't need things that are made of wood veneer, paper, plastic, any of that. So if it's from Target, I'm probably not going to buy it. TJ Maxx, Home Goods, all those things. I don't even need to go to those stores this year. What I'm allowing for myself, not that I need any sort of home decor, my house is fully furnished. I would allow myself to get solid wood pieces, really great high quality things, or secondhand pieces. And I could do a whole video on this. All of the brands that you think are high quality for furniture, home goods, home decor, they also all use wood, veneer, and plastic and these terrible materials. So you think you're getting something quality because you're paying more and you know the name, and you're really not. When we moved into this house earlier this year, I really wanted to buy pieces that would last forever and things that I loved, that were timeless, and that were functional. And for me, I thought that was going to mean I'm going to buy my bed and my dresser at Pottery Barn. That's something that I've always associated with high quality and value. And when I actually started looking into the product descriptions for some of these pieces that I love, they looked like wood and they said they were wood, but they were veneer. So it's the same thing with clothes. You talk about cotton blend clothes and then you look and it's 2% cotton, 98% polyester. That is not what you want to spend your money on. And that is something that I am moving away from in 2026. I hope you're sensing a theme here. Number 6 is going to be plastic kitchenware and utensils. I have a deep, dark fear of microplastics, as we've already discussed. So I am working on, first and foremost, not buying anything new plastic. So no more plastic cups, as much as I love them. Plastic or silicone utensils, spatulas, spoons, all that. I am going to focus on glass, stainless steel. Those are going to be really the pillars of the upgrades and the changes that I'm making in my kitchen for 2026. So we are dumping our Teflon pots and pans. We are dumping our plastic utensils. And the big one that we made the decision to dump 2 or 3 days ago is our Keurig. It is mostly plastic and it gets really hot, and hot plastic is no bueno. That is not something that you want in your body. So we are working to eliminate that. The plastic pods into the plastic Keurig, sometimes into the plastic cup and using the plastic straw. I'm so over it. It freaks me out. I don't want to do it anymore. So I have my aluminum cups and the travel cups that we use all the time already. We have some aluminum straws. I'm working on finding some other alternatives for straws. Glass straws, I've heard not great things about as well. And our black plastic Keurig, because I recently learned that black plastic has a lot of e-waste in it. And so when you are heating that up, it's all that electronic waste and chemicals that have been banned in this country for years are seeping into your coffee and then seeping into your body. I want none of it. I will have none of it in my kitchen in 2026. That said, I am not doing some sort of giant all at once overhaul. We are taking our time. We are finding the things that are going to last us forever, and we are making measured and intentional purchases. The thing that's going first, however, is the Keurig. We bought a cold brew glass carafe with a metal filter that we will be replacing that with. Number 7. Earlier in this video, I talked about how I live out in a rural area with my husband, and our ducks. And our ducks are the sole driver behind number 7 of things I am not buying in 2026. I am not buying eggs in 2026. Our girls just started laying eggs 3 weeks ago. We are getting from 5 ducks on average 2 to 3 eggs a day. And as we move through winter and our girls mature a little bit more, we are looking at likely 4 to 5 eggs a day. Our ducks that we have, 4 of them are khaki Campbell ducks, and they are known to lay an egg a day. So I am going to have a surplus of eggs. There is going to be no reason to buy chicken or duck eggs at the grocery store in 2026. And hopefully I can spread the wealth and bake and supply eggs to my friends, family, and colleagues as well. Number 8 is something that you probably haven't seen in any of these things I'm not buying videos if you're binging them like I am going into 2026. Although I imagine you probably didn't see the eggs on any either. I am not buying any single stocks or coin or Ethereum in 2026, period. I am of the firm belief that we are in some kind of bubble and something is going to pop. That on top of the fact that I think it's pointless to buy single stocks. I don't think that you can beat the market, and it's not something that I'm interested in. I am avoiding single stocks. I think that Bitcoin and Ethereum is a sham, and that might be an unpopular opinion, so roast me in the comments for that if you disagree. But I am focusing my investments for 2026 on mutual funds, which is something that I've been doing my entire professional career as I've been investing. But I'm also diversifying into other forms of investments. So staying away from gold at the moment because gold is soaring like crazy and I missed the window on that one. But I am looking into alternative real estate investments, different platforms that allow you to get into different equities in real estate with a lower upfront payment than has historically been the case. That is where I'm going to focus my money on for 2026. No single stocks for me, no Bitcoin ever for me, and at the moment, no gold for me. Number 9 is something that I didn't know was a thing until I moved to New England. I grew up in Florida and all of our beaches are very much public spaces. When I was a kid, you didn't have to pay to park and you didn't have to pay to get on the beach. I think nowadays you have to pay to park at a lot of the beaches I went to as a kid. But in New England and on the coast, you have to pay to park and you have to pay per person to walk on the beach. And that is something that I think is silly. And I think that public lands should be accessible to all, regardless of your spending ability or desires. But more than anything, it's a principle thing. I'm not interested in spending money to go lay on the beach. I'm not going to the beach. I will go to public parks. We have a lot of really great state parks and national parks near me. I will go there instead, not paying to access the beach in 2026. And finally, I talked about this a little bit in number 8 when I mentioned the price of gold absolutely skyrocketing and being through the moon right now. Through the moon? Sure. Through the moon right now. Because of this, and also because I don't think I'm interested at this point in many investment pieces, I am not buying solid gold jewelry in 2026. And for me, what this means is I'm not buying jewelry in 2026. I don't wear silver. I will not buy gold vermeil. I will not buy gold filled, gold plated, and I'm not really interested in costume jewelry either. So gold jewelry or jewelry in general is off the table for me in 2026. So those are 10 things that I am not spending my money on in 2026. I have seen a couple of creators who are going through Project Pan and are doing no buy years for 2026. I'm not there yet. I don't think that's something that is necessary for me or appropriate at this moment, but I am definitely taking a hard look at where my money is going and how I can make it work for me. And in 2026, that means not buying these 10 things. If you click on this link right here, my next video is talking about 5 things that I will be spending my money on in 2026. Thanks for watching.